Thanks, Shubs, and is it good evening? Good evening to members of the media. Congratulations to Team Mamelodi Sundowns, big victory, and everybody involved from the players to the technical team, Coach Steve, Coach Mangoba, Coach Wendell, the entire support staff, and the management of the club. And of course, to the supporters, it brings a good relief. Big 3 points against a very good side and a well-coached side. So congratulations to the entire Mamelodi Sundowns family.
Congratulations, Coach, on the 3 points. Apologies for the first question not directed on your side, but I'm looking at how you were planning for Nukovic coming to this game and looking at how Chiefs have been using him under Coach Stewart. I'm reminded of how he's been effective previously against you. Is it a bit of a relief when you don't have him roaming around the box? Is a sign of relief from where he's coming in from the left?
No, I think if you analyze Chiefs very closely, and I don't want to go into details because, my goodness, but the transitional style of play that Coach Stewart comes up with, I think, in my personal opinion, that having him on the left, and particularly when you look at the schemes that they use with Karma running in behind him, and even sometimes to try to build from the back. And then because all the goalkeepers are right-footed, and only today they had only Dube as a left-footed centre-back, but predominantly they have their right-footed centre-halves, and then it's easier to get out of pressure with a diagonal ball to the left from the right foot, and then to get possibilities on transition or when they develop a play from the second ball. He's the right profile to have that scheme. So, look. I think more, as you said, even before you asked the question, more for Chiefs. But I think there's a lot of intelligence and a lot of wisdom in the approach. And for me as a coach, it makes only sense when I watch them, and it becomes very difficult to deal with them. So I don't know how to go into your question, because if I go into too much detail, it makes a bit of sense in how they use it.
Thank you, Shubs. Evening, coach, and congratulations on your win. Can you please tell us more about the combination Grant Kekana and Roshin Duruk, clean sheet today, it's yielding good results? Thank you.
I mean, the one thing about the two of them is they just love defending. I mean, I think the orthodox type of centre halves, you don't normally find them in modern football. I think probably the prototype now left is Chiellini or Bonucci, centre halves that really love drafting and carrying the piano, and that's what you have with Granty and Rushi. Always looking to better their performances, always willing to learn and improve. And kudos to them for another very good team contribution. But as I said even earlier, I mean, big team performance. Everybody was willing to run, fight, and give their best for the team, including the substitutes. So it's very difficult to single out any individual, but very strong performance from Rushi, very strong performance from Grant, and not always easy, particularly after an international break. So kudos to them, and hopefully feet firmly on the ground. And it's a long season, long season, and we're gonna need everybody. And hopefully we still can get Musa Nyatama back, Ricardo Nascimento back, because the competition at Sundowns is extremely tough, and they've just got to continue to focus and work hard and contribute to the overall progress of the team.
All right, Coach, congratulations on the victory. I just want to ask about Grant Kekana. Are you surprised by the way he settled at the team?
And also, just the second question, did the game pan out exactly the way you expected it?
Thanks, Nati. Sorry, I called Musa Nyatama instead of Musa Lebusa. Thanks, Chips. Yeah, no, no, not surprised at all. Grant comes from a very good family. The background, the intelligence, I mean, has very little to do with the performance in football. But these are the things we look at, because part to us recruiting players is profiling and extensive work behind the scenes. And when you look at Grant's educational background, his upbringing, I mean, Grant's mother is the Vice Minister of Education in government, and you can see even how he carries himself in the change room and how he goes about trying to get the best from his teammates, you know, in relation to his performances. He's not a selfish person, extremely selfless, works extremely hard for the team. So, yeah, of course, maybe a bit accelerated in the integration because of injuries, but he's taken it, he's running with it, and as we go about meritocracy in this club, we give chances to people that continue to show the desire and the intensity in their performances, and Kant is one of those. But as I said, it's a complete team performance. Very difficult to single out individuals when not just the players on the pitch are prepared to die for the cause of the team, but you've got a technical team that is really pushing towards making sure that we succeed this season, and with the support of not just our chairman, the president, and the board. If we continue this way, we should be okay. Look, they started very well, very strong start from Kaizer Chiefs. Of course, the threat of having very high wing backs, particularly when you've got a Nurkovic coming in the far post, and Blom and Santi with their possibilities to deliver balls. And then it becomes very difficult because in a moment you can feel a little bit unease because of the number of balls that are put into the box. But we settled well after the first 10, 15 minutes or so. And once we got our foot on the ball and we played the Sundowns way, we became a little bit more dominant. And a very difficult Chiefs side, a well-coached Chiefs side, and a very important win for us. And big teams, every big team in the world has to win games like this, where you've just got to show a lot of discipline, a lot of intensity, and see the match through, and that's what we did today.
Coach, congrats on the victory. I just wanted to ask about Peter. Is there a risk of a burnout? I mean, how is Sundowns handling him? Because he seems heavily reliant on both in the national team at club level as well.
Thanks, Mazola. No, Peter, you ran out of superlatives. This guy, I mean, I think he's charged by Duracell, you know. But the reality is, Peter is a team player. Sacrifices, pushes, and puts himself on the line for the team. And he knows that's what we say to him. We say to him, as long as you are at service, for Mamelodi Sundowns, everything else will fall into place. We trust him like we trust every single one of our players. And we know that not just in relation to goals and assists, there's a lot more to Peter. The movement, to create space, to pull out defenders, the high press, the schemes, sometimes a little bit complicated and different, but Peter gives us that. And as long as he continues to do that, maybe the best thing is to try and find the most expensive cotton wool that we can wrap him around, because he just continues to run and run and run. And he's like this even at training. There are times when we work on our pressing schemes, and Peter then just continues to press everybody. And we are like, Peter, these are the people to press. And you can see the disappointment in his face. But top lad, top human being. And we are just very fortunate to have not just Peter, but a very good group of human beings in our team.
Thanks. Coach, your early subs in the second half, Kutumela and Mayema, what do you make of their impact? Are you happy with their impact? Thanks.
Yeah, but even before you get to that, you need Gaston to run his socks off, and you need Tembazwane to run his socks off to create these possibilities to bring fresher, quicker, and more penetrative players. But as I said even earlier, we are just fortunate to be able to sit with such a talented group of players, and not just talented, but good human beings, and that's very important. The profile of our squad is first and foremost good human beings. They are at Sundowns because they are good football players. They wouldn't be here. But the reality is you need a little bit more to be a big team and compete on the African stage and even try to get into the Club World Cup. That's what we want to do. And you can't do that with due diligence, good soft skills, and good personalities. Now gives us the possibility of having a left footer on the left-hand side to expose one-on-ones and to deliver crosses. And sometimes that's what we need, because at times we need to be a little bit more different. Instead of inverting our wingers and coming inside, at times we've got to go on the outside and use the profile of players that we have. But good performance, even Kutumela, strong, aggressive in one-on-one situations, gives intensity and has possibilities in and around the box to create problems for the opposition. But yeah, good impact. You can say the same about Hesh. You can say the same about Pavol. The substitutes were very good today. Showed very good human skills and good tenacity and the ability to come in and influence the game. And that's what all we ask of our players is to give themselves to the team. And when they do that, we move on.
Coach, we know Sundowns has quality players all around. How far is Lesedi Kapinga and George Malulega on the pecking order in terms of their positions? Thank you.
We don't have a pecking order, Fidel. Everybody is important. It's going to be a very, very long season. They are just as important as Mshishi and Gaston. Lesedi is still working extremely hard. He's had one or two issues with medical concerns, but he's getting into that space. And instead of focusing on why this one is not playing, let's look at the huge improvements with some of these players. I mean, if you look at the performances of Rashid, you look at the performances of Lyle. Okay, for me, I still don't understand why Lyle is not even in the national team. But it is what it is. We focus on what we have to focus on, and we try to improve the team, try to improve our performances, because those are the things that we can control. And as long as we do that, and we are at service to this big institution. That's what the club requests of us, and we shall just continue to do that and try to improve our players, try to improve the performances of the team, and try to win every single game that we have to play. That's our focus, and try to deal with the things at hand and the things that we can improve. What we can't improve, what we can't control, we leave it over to the Almighty, and we ask God for his contribution, because at the end, and that's what life is about.